First off, are you a playing coach?
Yeah, playing coach. Yep.
Tell us a bit about your footy. Where do you come from? Where you are?
Originally from Finley, grew up in Finley, played a bit of footy there, then went down to Melbourne, played at Croydon in the Eastern Footy League, and then from there travelled to Cairns and played and coached in Cairns for 3 years. So, and then this is my third year coaching at Deni.
So, is Deni one of the biggest or the biggest football grounds you've ever seen in your life? Have I got the right place?
Yeah, it's pretty big. We've shortened it up this year. We've changed the position of the post, so it's probably a couple of metres shorter. But yeah, it's a hell of a ground.
Hell of a ground. I'll tell you what. I remember saying to a bloke one time, I've been to that Deni football ground. I'll tell you what, I'd tell the coach to get nicked if he told me I had to run laps, but I think if you told me I'd run 10. But anyway, moving right along. You lost the elimination final to Blighty last year. You got a few that have left your club, but I want to talk more importantly about the ins, and that's James Kirby, Brodie Lumber, Mark Lambourne, Jordan McCulloch and Tanner Robertson.
So what do you want to know about them?
How'd they go?
So the blokes there, so they're all, pretty much all of them living in town. We've recruited 3 talls in James Kirby, Brodie Lumber and Tanner Robinson. So James Kirby's a ruckman, go forward. Brodie Lumbar's a proven forward in the Picola League. He's kicked 100 before. And then Tanner Robinson's a centre-half back, pinch hit ruckman. So that sort of sums those 3 boys up. And then Mark Lambourne lives here in Echuca, and he's probably an inside-on baller. And then Jordan McCulloch's returning to the club after being away at school for the last 6 years. So it's a good spread of recruits.
Is Terry and Brodie, are they brothers? No. Different spelling, is it? Yeah, well, Terry kicked 52 last year. I just thought they might have been brothers. You're 10-6, you're 6 losses. Big losses, just got beaten?
Yeah, we had a couple of big losses, obviously against Strathie and Picola, who gave us a lesson both times we played them, which we've taken a lot out of that and probably changed a few aspects of the way we play. But yeah, a couple of close ones, but then as Logue said, we snuck away with a couple too where we fell across the line and got a couple of points. So yeah, a couple of close losses, but yeah, that was the way that the season went.
Some of you, I'll tell you what, this is what I love about it. It's a magic moment. One of the blokes that's left here, James Gilligan, he's gone to Jerilderie chasing his girlfriend.
Yeah, spot on. So Gilly came to our club a couple of years back as the son of a former coach. And yeah, he's, what can you say? You're disappointed, but good luck to him. I hope she's the one.
We've spoken to all clubs about your juniors. What's your junior concept like? You know, as we know now how important with the point system is. So your young blokes, you've got some really good kids coming on.
Yeah, so obviously on top of the recruits that we've actually brought into the club, there's probably 5 or 6 premiership players out of the thirds coming up this year. They've been part of a really successful junior program. I guess unlike a few of the clubs around here, we're quite a large town, so we're able to pull our juniors from quite a big area, and we've had a very successful junior footy program for a number of years now. We've been fortunate to find some really great coaches that have been in there for a long time and had great success, and we're now starting to reap that benefit with the juniors that are coming into our senior ranks this year with a couple of league medalists and premiership players, which is always handy.
Nick, a lot of boys your size often put themselves into what they consider themselves they've got a weakness. Do you play yourself in one set position? The reason I'm saying that is in the footy we were watching last year, there was one fella that we watched regularly. He'd always go to who he thought was the best player on the opposition. And I reckon geographically, on sometimes it just didn't work. Do you set yourself up either in the ruck or at full forward or at centre-half forward or centre-half back, week in, week out, or do you move around a bit?
Probably the best position this year will probably be out of the road with the tools we've recruited. But last year I played through the ruck the majority in the middle of the year and then went forward probably later in the year. But yeah, I tend to be fairly flexible and go into the ruck when need be, and then went forward when we were short on tools. But this year it could be a bit more permanent in the ruck, I'd say.
Just last year when you went down in the elimination final by 15 points, obviously you do a match review after the game. do you sit down then and say, listen, you pick a side and leave the holes where you need these recruits, and is that what you hone in and try and chase, for this time out this year?
Yeah, look, there's no way to put it. It was the brother-in-law that put us to the sword. So it's been a tough summer listening to him. But yeah, he kicked 5 from centre half forward that day, and we didn't really have a match-up for him. So we did identify that we wanted a tall and mobile key backman. And with Tanner and even James Kirby and Brodie Lumbar coming to the side, that really, I think if we had any one of those boys on the day, we would have got that game over the line for our favour. Sorry. So, yeah, that was probably the biggest target we had all recruiting.
All right, mate. Well, look, you're not that far off the mark. That's sticking out like there's anything. And if you're happy with your recruits, well, you went out at 6 last year. Who knows? It's not that many steps as some have got to take. So, in 2017, we wish Deni Rovers all the best, champ.